My name is Francesca, and you're watching Fanatics TV.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to you as well. Today we're talking about a TikTok trend called becoming that girl. Now, first off, I do want to start off by saying, this is not an attack towards anyone who has done those that girl videos. Also, I really just don't like TikTok. We're going to start off with that. But outside of both of those things, my points here are very, very valid, and I encourage you to keep watching to the end of the video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Francesca. I make vlogs, lifestyle content, and little chit-chat videos like this. So if you're here, you're definitely here for a reason. Go ahead and hit subscribe. So, alright, for those of you who probably don't know what the That Girl Challenge is, because you're either so far removed from TikTok like I am, or you're very removed from social media, let's talk about it. So, the That Girl trend started on TikTok, but it has flown over into YouTube over the last couple of weeks. And the trend basically features making yourself the ideal girl. I think the point of the trend was originally to encourage people to live healthy and aesthetically pleasing lifestyles, but the context got very, very toxic very quickly. So the That Girl would do things like wake up early in the morning. The That Girl would do things like being productive in ways like using planners or going on long runs in the morning. They would also have certain types of attire. So a big popular thing now is wearing like sage. I think in almost all the That Girl videos I've watched on YouTube, at some point, whether it's the workout outfit, which we'll get to that in a second, or it's the regular outfit, there's like sage or mauve or all these colors that are super popular, or browns. And, they're all wearing these very in set style type things. That girl eats a certain type of food. They may go get smoothie bowls or things of that nature. That girl also exercises a lot. That is a central thing of the That Girl mantra. Now, I have seen a lot of things like throwing in positive things like meditation or manifestation, things like that. But also That Girl wears certain type of skincare, uses certain type of makeup, things like that. That is the idea of the That Girl, for those of you guys who had no idea what I'm talking about. Now, the term That Girl is something that I wanted to talk about before I even get into the toxicity of the TikTok trend. That term in and of itself is so toxic. I think a lot of high schoolers in high school, there's a clique, the popular kids, so to speak. If you watch movies, even if this hasn't happened to you, you know exactly what I mean by this. And everyone looks at those popular kids and they're like, oh, I wish I had their money. Oh, I wish I had their hair. Oh, I wish I had that, this, that, and the other clothes that they wear. So the concept of the That Girl is really caught up in a very toxic context anywhere. We hear this in movies and set up in high schools where it's like, oh, the it girl or the that girl or the popular girl that everyone is kind of looking over and envying. So the phrasing of this in and of itself is terrible. And maybe if it was called how to be the healthy girl, or how to be the fit girl, or how to be, I don't know what the phrasing would have been to make this better, but by using the phrase that girl, it inherently already put this into a toxic space. So I wanted to talk about that first. A major thing that I think is an issue, and come for me if you want in the comments, we can talk about it, let's go. A lot of these people on these TikTok trends are wealthy, slender, white, 14, I'll say, to 25-year-old women. And that puts everything into a frame that, all right, so to be cool or to be that girl, I have to have that body type, because all of them have that body type. I have to have long flowing hair that's straight, because all of them will have long flowing hair that's straight. I have to have all of these expensive things. And that's something that I think is a huge part of this. There is a socioeconomical block from a lot of people to become that girl. There are things like having a place that has a smoothie bowl near them. These things are like $9 and $10 for something that may or may not fill you, which we'll get to that part in a second. So you're spending that. A lot of the that girls are showing their Gymshark or Fabletics or things of that nature. And yes, all of this is marketed as being affordable, but at the end of the day, if you have to choose between your workout gear and other means, you're not going to spend $24 on a pair of leggings. Personally, love Fabletics, love Gymshark, but that's a lot of money for a pair of leggings. So there's a lot of things that come up. Some of the foods, having access to certain fruits, vegetables, seasonings, things like that. There are certain neighborhoods who barely have access to grocery stores, let alone having access to those things that are a little bit more expensive. Having a blender, having an espresso machine in your home. Yes, we all as YouTubers want to be Emma Chamberlain and want to have espresso in our home, but you have to stop and think that all kinds of people use TikTok. That's not an accessible thing for everybody. So financially speaking, it puts people in a situation, especially young children. And I think a big concern for me is I'm seeing a trend of 10 to 16-year-olds being so fixated on certain things that I was not worried about as a child because I was still a child. If your family doesn't have the means to have those things, now you're okay, so we don't have money for an espresso machine. I can't get a smoothie bowl. I can't do this, that, and the other. How am I supposed to be that girl? And this thing of being aesthetically pleasing, we're going to get to that now. I'm a YouTuber and I apparently make aesthetically pleasing videos. And all that means is that it's something, it really means that it's something that's trending right now that everyone thinks is pleasing to the eye. But at the end of the day, if I decide to wear this dark green instead of wearing sage, or if I decide to wear fuchsia, I would never, but if I decided to wear fuchsia instead of mauve, that doesn't make me any more or less that girl or, a boss than me wearing sage, me wearing mauve. It doesn't matter. And this aesthetically pleasing thing has really gotten a lot of people, not just from TikTok, because YouTube is guilty of this too, into a frame where we're looking like and doing the same things and wearing the same things and going to the same places. And it's where's the individuality? And I think that's why I appreciate a lot of the YouTubers that I watch, that I've mentioned before, because there is individuality. But when we're setting a standard that the only way that you're cool, the only way that you're that girl is to have these things, it's toxic. Also, I'm not going to dwell on this long. Another big issue with this, as I said, it is mostly white girls, right? So if we're looking at this, and you can definitely go into another conversation about other forms of representation, but race-wise as well, you're putting this in a box where it's you're trying to determine that physical features with a lot of these things that we're discussing that may appear on that girl are genetic-based features. So you're making the assumption or making the presumption that that girl has to be blonde hair, blue eyes, skinny, slightly tall, but not too tall. Can't get too tall. And that automatically boxes out so many minorities. I looked for so long on YouTube, because I don't use TikTok, to find a that girl video with a minority in it, and I think I found one. And I was that's not great. That doesn't make me feel good. That wouldn't make me feel good as a child. It's where is me, And so that aside, now I want to get to the health and fitness part of being that girl, because we doggy. First off, food. We'll start with food. A lot of different cultures have a lot of different relationships with food, and people have different body types and different things of that nature that make food different for everyone. If you have watched my health and fitness journey, if you have watched any of my videos, what I eat a day, I'm so quick to say, this is me. This is what I do. I think it's cool to watch what other people do, but that does not mean that this is right and or normal or good for everybody. And I think there's this concept that this is what's healthy. This is what's good. And if you're on a low carb, low protein, whatever diet, don't quote me on that, but if you're eating like this and you are larger framed, or if you're eating like this and you work, a lot of these people who are doing these videos are not working a laborious job. Like, if you work, you need more to fuel your body for that more energy that you're exerting. So many different ways, but like, food is very person specific. That's why there's dietitians, that's why there's nutritionists, that's why there's personal trainers, because everyone's body is not the same and everyone does not need the same thing. It puts forth the expectation that, all right, I work a hard job, right? But I want to be that girl. I'm going to just have this avocado toast and a water and work till whenever my lunch break is, and now I'm hungry and I'm fatigued and I'm having, you know what I mean? Like, everybody cannot eat the same thing. And I think that the expectations and the repetitive nature of this that girl idea really puts in that this is what you're supposed to eat. Now, overall, and this is where that trigger warning comes in, feel free to fast forward through this and get to the fitness part, or fast forward past this entire section. I do feel as though things of this nature really do attribute towards eating disorders or eating complexes, or poor relationships with food. That's how I like to say it. When you're given this idea that eating less frequently, eating any kind of way is the way to do things, and you're pushing forth this image of a slender person who is, most of these people I'm pretty sure are naturally slender. You're pushing that forward as well as with the fitness aspect, which we're going to get to in a second. You're creating this relationship with food that's like, okay, so for me to be popular or to be that girl or to have that, appeal to myself, I need to eat less. I need to exercise more. I need to eat in smaller portions. It pushes all of that together, and now you're building a relationship with food that's based on your self-esteem or your feeling toward yourself or your place in society, or your place with your friends or in your environment. I mean, it's a little extreme to say that that girl is a place in society, but it feels that way, especially for younger people. And that starts to create a very obsessive pattern that can really lead into unhealthy relationships with food, unhealthy relationships with exercising. I'm not going to say the name, but there's a very popular young YouTuber who does similar content to mine. She is 14, 15 years old. And at a point, her videos solely became about exercise and dieting. And she is a person of color, and naturally from her genetics, she is what we call big-boned. She has the propensity to hold more weight. And this young girl, it breaks my heart to watch and think about. And I mean, she's made videos and kind of talked about the problems with it. She had gotten to a point where she was exercising 3 and 4 times a day obsessively. She was denying herself food. She was going through so much restrictions. And she's still a child. And honestly, all of this comes from this aesthetically pleasing lifestyle, what it takes to be that girl, what it takes to be healthy. And it saddens me. She has thousands upon thousands of subscribers, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them are young. And that starts to get played over and over in people's head, and now you're making a relationship with food that's not healthy. You're not even thinking about eating healthy. You're thinking about eating what that girl eats. You're thinking about eating less. You're thinking about all of this. I need to be minimalistic. I need to be restrictive. All of that together is so incredibly toxic. And then on the fitness end of that girl, you already talked about the clothes. Those clothes are expensive. We know that. But also, it puts in this idea that you need to be exercising as a focal point, which is why a lot of times now, when I vlog, even if I exercise on that day, I try to leave it out. I don't want anyone to feel like that's what I need to be doing. You know what I mean? And exercise is great and healthy, and you should exercise. Do not get me wrong whatsoever, but you don't have to do the same exercises as everyone. You do not need to exercise as much as everyone. Your body is your body, and you need to treat your body appropriately. I think that's the biggest issue is people are different, and that girl gives this idea that everyone should be the same, and it's just so toxic. And I think social media in general has become toxic. You get this image going that you have to meet these criteria. And honestly, if you are an influencer, or you are a YouTuber, or you are an Instagrammer, or you are a TikToker, and you don't fit in that frame, you suffer tremendously from that. And having to go through that is terrible too, because you're like, maybe I should change. Maybe I should, do more of this. Maybe I should change my makeup. Maybe I should exercise more, or so on and so forth, whatever. And it causes everyone to start to get in this box where they're all the same. It really boxes out a lot of people socioeconomically. It boxes out a lot of people racially. It boxes out a lot of people who just have different body types. And it puts people in a mindset of, if I can't afford that, I'm not it. If I can't look like that, I'm not it. If I don't wear that, if I don't eat that, if I don't do that, I'm not it. And that is wild. If you're watching this, and you are into the TikTok that girl, theme, and you're watching this just because you've been watching those videos, I want to tell you that the way to be that girl is to be yourself. Now, if you're rude, nasty, and terrible, I'm not talking to you. Let's just get that out the way. But being yourself, doing things that you love, eating things that are healthy for you and your body, doing things that are healthy for you and your body, that's how you become that girl. It's not a set script of things that you have to do or have to wear or have to even say. Like, we don't all have to sound the same either. Being that girl is being you. And I hope that you get that. And if not, I hope someone else tells you that and it starts to play in your head the same way all of this negative toxicity has been playing over and over in your head. So that's it for the That Girl theme. If you finished and watched this whole video, I really do appreciate it. Like, comment down below. If you disagree with me, comment down below too. If you agree with me, comment down below. Don't get in an argument in my comments, though. Don't do that. But I would love to hear some feedback. I think for me personally, and I can do another video about this, I think TikTok in general is very toxic, and I'm seeing a lot of TikTok trends that are not healthy make its way over to YouTube. And that's part of the reason why I did this video, because we had to talk. We had to talk, guys. So that being said, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe for this video. And guys, just be yourself. I normally say, have a great day. I want your homework, okay, for today is just be 110% naturally you. All right? Thanks for watching.